And then start to find a comfortable seat. I think last week we started standing, but we're going to start sitting again today. Just finding our space, finding our breath, sort of finding our focus here right now. Sit down to lift up. So really ground your sit bones down to wherever you're seated on, whether it's the ground or a block or a blanket. Gently engage your core. Feel your sit bones pressing down and your heart lift a tiny bit as you lengthen the front body. Finding equal length in the front and the back and the sides of your body. Maybe tip your weight back a little bit, your torso back a little bit to bring the weight over your hips so that your shoulders are right on top of your hips. Bring your head right on top of your shoulders. Chin is parallel to the ground here. And then 3 times, just shrug your shoulders up by your ears, even exaggerate it, right? And then roll them back as they melt down the back of your spine, opening up your collarbone, opening up your heart. Good, 2 more times like that. Just inhale as you scrunch, squeeze it up, and then exhale as you open up. 1 more time here, scrunch it up, squeeze up toward your ears, and roll your shoulders back as your collarbone widens. Good, finding some stillness here. Eyes gently closed, allow us to focus inward. Because the yoga work is like from the inside out. I've heard the expression, it's a work in, not a work out. Right, so help us focus inward as we take the practice to a more active state later. Take a deep inhale through your nose, fill up your lungs, and then exhale, let it all go, keeping those shoulders pulling down away from your ears. 2 more times like that. Breathe it in, fill up, and then exhale, let it go. Last time, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. And let's open class together, sort of setting our intention with 3 ohms. Filling up 1 more time, breathe in. Om. Om. Sitting with this vibration for a few rounds of breath, allowing it to start to energize our body. So feel a tingling coming inside to your body from the toes to the top of your head. Beautiful. And then try this time as we start to move to keep your eyes gently closed. I like to keep them closed at the beginning of practice, really focusing on myself, which is hard to do. Like we tend to be such giving people, right? This is time to focus on yourself so that you can take that out into the world as you move through the day after the practice and share yourself. So right now, just focus on you. Bring your shoulders back down away from your ears and then sweep your arms out to the side, reach up overhead, tip your chin up as if you were looking up, but your eyes are gently closed. Reach your fingertips toward the sky as you ground down through your sit bones. Gently engage your core. Try not to take a sway into your lower back. Try to stay nice and strong in the front and back body here. Inhale, reach a little bit higher up. And then exhale, bring your hands back down by your side, shoulders down. Again, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. This time, interlace your fingers, press your palms up toward the sky. I can't talk today, good. Keep pressing your palms toward the sky as your shoulders pull down. And then gently just start to tick-tock side to side. Just take a little side bend here, pressing your palms over to the left, and then back up to center, and then over to the right. Taking it at your own pace, letting your breath guide you here. Just feeling where you are right now. Right, Fridays are challenging. It's been a long week, whatever you've been doing, wherever you are. This anticipation of the weekend and a break is always nice. Breathing in 1 more time to each side here. Good. Tipping it over to whatever side you're on, and then coming all the way back up to center. Press those palms up toward the sky, keeping your fingers interlaced. Just bring those interlaced palms to the back of your head. Elbows are moving out to the side. Again, try to take a sway out of your lower back here, engage your core, and then gently press your head back into your palm as you tip your head up toward the sky. Right, your palms are like a cradle. Keep pressing your elbows out as you gaze up, let your head be heavy. And then as you exhale, start to curl your chin in towards your chest, joining your elbows in front of you, just curling in here, finding space between your shoulder blades. And then with the breath, inhale, open back up, tip your chin up toward the sky, spread your elbows side to side. Exhale, bring it back into the center. Your elbows might not touch, but bring them in, squeeze in. Last time here, inhale, open up. Press those palms up toward the sky. Let your left hand now drop down next to your head and just take a nice big side bend. Reaching up and over, grounding down to lift up. Find space in your side rib cage here. Gaze is up above your elbow. One more breath. Good. Inhale, reach it back up to center and just take it to the other side. Grounding down first and then lifting up and over, finding a nice big arch. Try to keep your core engaged here. It's hard in a seated position. One more breath. Good. Inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. Let your hands fall in front of you. If your eyes are still closed, blink them open. Come into a tabletop position. And just move a little bit here. Try and make circles with your hips. Just kind of explore where you are today. I was reading this post online. I think about it often because I have very long arms. Like, yoga is really like not a competition. There's some poses that you may not ever be able to get into, and some of it has to just do with body proportion. It's not flexibility or how hard you're working, how strong you are. Some things are easier for some others than they are for you, and vice versa. So just be okay with where you are, right? And know that you're working toward your limit, your sort of like thresholds. Whether it's long arms, short torso, all these things have a factor in how you express the pose. So just do what feels good to you. Good. Maybe take some lazy up dogs here to open the front body. A few more breaths here, just moving. Beautiful. Then come back to tabletop position here. Ground your palms under your shoulders here, and then keep the left hand grounded as you reach your right arm up toward the side. Take a twist. Think about keeping your hips square toward the back of the room, twisting from the rib cage. Gaze moves up. And as you exhale, slide your right hand under your left arm, bring your right cheek and shoulder down to the mat, taking a little twist here. Maybe walking your left fingertips up overhead. You can stay up on fingertips here, really activating the arm all the way down to the shoulder. Keep twisting, right? Keep pressing your hips back as you twist your torso up toward the sky. Breathe here. One more breath, just taking it easy. It's early in the practice. Good. As you exhale, bring your left palm to the mat, sweep your right arm up to the sky. And exhale, come back to tabletop position. Switching sides, really open up here. Feel your collarbones spread toward the side of the room as your gaze moves up. And then exhale, thread it through, bring your left cheek and shoulder down to the mat. Keep pressing your hips back evenly. Maybe walk your right fingertips out overhead. Find a nice side body stretch here. Continue to twist your heart open. Gaze moves up. Breathing here in. Exhale. Next inhale, right palm returns to the mat. Sweep that left arm up overhead. And as you exhale, return to tabletop position. From here, flip your palms around so your fingers are facing your knee. We'll just do a quick wrist stretch here. Good. Tuck your toes under. It kind of stretches the soles of your feet at the same time. Just rock back and forth here. Opening up your forearms, opening up your wrists. Maybe rock side to side. We'll make little circles here. Good. We rely so much on our hands, right? Our wrists, our fingers. It's nice to give them some love here. One more breath. Beautiful, then flip your palms back around, tuck your toes under, press into your palms and your toes as you hover your knees up, maybe like 2 or 3 inches off the mat. Hug your core in toward the spine. Breathe here, hold it for one more breath. Good, and then as you exhale, keep your knees bent as long as possible as you send your chest back toward your thighs, pressing yourself slowly back to downward facing dog.
Good, first dog of the day here, so just take it easy, pedal it out, bending one knee and then the other. Breathing here. Shake your head yes and no. Getting that sensation of releasing your neck, right? Like no tension in the shoulders or the neck. Press your palms into the mat here. Maybe lift your fingertips up off the mat so that just your palms are pressing into the mat. And see what that does is it sends the energy up your arms and down your side body. All the way to your sit bones. And then gently bend your knees here. You can always keep your knees bent. It makes a nice space in your hips and your lower back. If it feels good, just keep doing that through the practice. Or bend it, find the space, and then straighten back into this extra space, maybe stretching a little bit further. Do what feels good to you. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's take a few waves, like move your spine like a wave. So come high on your toes here. Start to pull yourself forward to plank, really rounding the shoulder blades, pulling your chest forward of your fingertips here. And then exhale, bend your knees as you send your hips back. Take it back to downward facing dog. Try to exaggerate the movement in your spine. Inhale, roll forward, tuck your tail, round your spine. And then exhale, bend your knees, send your hips back to your heels, downward facing dog. One more time like this, high on your toes, make lots of space here. Pull forward, keeping your torso away from the mat. And then when you get to plank, bend your knees, send your hips back and up, downward facing dog. Send your right leg all the way up to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip here. Good, start to make some circles, just gently warming up the hip. Bent knee or straight leg, whatever feels good. Take 3 circles in one direction and then switch it out. Beautiful, taking your time, taking extra breaths in the super tight spaces here. The breath can be so healing. Good, send that right leg all the way back up toward the sky, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, slowly come forward to plank, bring that right foot to the outside of your right hand. So we're in an early lizard here. Stay high on your fingertips here for just a moment. Just rock back and forth. Try to let your hips be heavy. We're just gonna take like nice juicy hip stuff today. Good, pressing into the mat with your palms, don't let your chest sink. Then come to stillness here, and then gently just let your left knee tap down to the mat. Use your left foot to straighten your leg back out as you stretch back into a lunge. Good, again, tap it down, take it nice and slow, articulate the movements as you press your foot back to straighten your leg, isolating the movement. One more time, tap it down. Exhale, bring it back up to a lizard lunge. Beautiful, this time tap your knee down, release your toes, the top of your foot down to the mat. But then we're gonna do like a kind of a cat-cow here, right? So press your hands down into the mat, tuck your chin, and try to round your spine. And then as you exhale, let your hips drop as you pull your heart forward, coming into more of like the cow. Good. Inhale, press into the mat to round your spine, tuck it under. Exhale as you let your hips drop, open your heart forward. One more time, round it down. It really, it's a much smaller movement here, but you can get a lot deeper. Good. And then exhale, drop your hips as you let your heart move forward. You can come down to your forearms if you're ready. It's early in the practice. You can roll to the outer edge of your right foot, kind of opening that hip and using your right hand to press your knee open, taking it easy. You can rock it back side to side, and then if you're ready, if you're really feeling up to it, you can take the bind. Grabbing your back foot, pulling your heel in towards your seat, taking it easy, keeping everything engaged and safe. One more breath here. Good, as you exhale, release the bind if you have it. Straighten through your right leg, we'll just come into a half split here. So hips move back over your back knee. Start to pull your heart forward as you press that right heel into the mat and then fold down on the inside of your right leg. It's like a wide half split here. Maybe windshield wiper your foot side to side. Feeling all the sides of your hamstrings can feel really good in your outer hip, especially as you send your pinky toe edge out to the side. All right, one more breath here. As you inhale, press your palms into the mat, bend your right knee, step it back to downward facing dog, pedal it out. Next inhale, left leg reaches for the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open up the hip. And then just start to make those nice juicy circles at your own pace, 3 times in one direction. And then 3 times in the other, taking your time to warm it up. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. Next inhale, left leg reaches for the sky. And as you exhale, bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand, coming into this lizard lunge. Good, just rocking back and forth here. Really focusing on all the points of contact with the earth or the mat, right? Where your foot is, your hands, the ball of your back foot. Just getting to know that, because that's your foundation right now, right? You're not really seated or standing or sort of in this in between. So any point of contact is your foundation. Really use that foundation throughout your practice to move, right? To build your poses. Beautiful. Come back to stillness if you're rocking back and forth. Keep your heart pulling forward as you press your palms into the mat. And then gently, with as little movement as possible, tap your right knee down. And then as you exhale, press through your right heel to straighten your right leg back out. Lift your knee. 2 more times like that. Inhale as you tap it down. Exhale, straighten it back out. 1 more time. Tap it down. Press to lengthen. Then release that knee to the mat. Untuck your toes. We're going to come into that cat-cow. So you're really pressing down through your hands and your left foot here. You can keep your back toes tucked or untucked. I want you to press down as you tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin, maybe finding length in your right quad. And then exhale, pull your heart forward as your hips drop. Inhale, round it in, really tuck that tail down. It's hard to do here because there's a lot of space in our torso. And then exhale, pull it forward as you drop your hips. 1 more time here. Press down to round it in. And then exhale, drop your hips, pull your heart forward. Either stay here if it feels good and breathe into it. You can come down to your forearms, take it where you need to go. Beautiful. Maybe rolling your left knee open, pressing it open and taking the galaxy twist. Maybe taking the bind. Inhaling here and exhaling. But if you have the bind, release it. Bring your hands back to the inside of your left foot. Straighten your left leg as you come up on that heel. Pull your right hip back and in as you pull your heart forward. And then exhale, fold it down into this nice wide half Hanumanasana. Good. Feel it, get the sensation of that heel really pressing into the mat. If it felt good on the other side, start to windshield wiper your foot side to side. Finding all those nooks and crannies in your hamstring, in your hip. Beautiful. 1 more breath here. Next inhale, bend back into the left knee. Press it back to downward facing dog. Good. Then come high on your toes here and just walk yourself to the top of the mat. Arrive there with your feet hips width distance apart. Fold it down. Gently bend your knees if you need to here. It can feel really good in your lower back. Releasing some space in your hips. Grab opposite elbows here. Good, and then everybody bend your knees, really press your feet into the mat and gently tuck your tailbone down as you roll yourself all the way up to stand. Keeping your head framed inside your arms as you press your elbows up toward the sky. Open it up, press your elbows back as you lift your heart and your gaze. Inhale here. As you exhale, reach your arms toward the sky. And then exhale, bring your hands by your side to Tadasana. As always, I forgot to say to start your playlist, so this is a good point to start it if you haven't already. Getting set up for some Surya Namaskar, just warming up our body. Again, you can keep your knees bent here. It can feel really nice. And just explore. Feel the differences in the poses, right? Find new spaces, new nooks and crannies here. Feel your feet pressing firmly into the mat. Bring your arms by your side. Gently tuck your tail. Find some strength in your front body here. And as you inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky. Maybe palms are pressing. As you exhale, fold it down. Inhale here to lengthen. Follow your breath. Exhale, plant your palms. Step or jump back, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pull your heart through as you press your feet down. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Breathe it out. Inhale. Exhale. Again, maybe gently bend your knees, feel your sit bones spread and then move up toward the sky. Either stay here or start to straighten your knees as your heels drop back down. Feel the difference in your legs. Press your palms into the mat, roll the eyes of your elbows forward, making extra room for your neck. Nice long neck here. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press, maybe soft knees here. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Good. Again, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, move the weight to your palms as you step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open your heart, spread your collarbone. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep that core engaged. Inhaling here. Exhale. Inhale, really focus on your points of contact. Focus on your foundation here, your palms and your feet, right? Really press them down and use that to build your pose. Exhale. Inhale here one more time. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. We're gonna do an extra fold here. So I want you to inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Try to come out, like bring the weight off of your heels, a little bit on your tiptoes here. Feel what that does to the back of your legs. And then exhale, drop your heels as you fold it down. You can walk your hands out a little bit for balance if you need to. Again, inhale, lengthen your spine, come up on your toes if you can. And then exhale, drop your feet back down as you fold it down. This time as you inhale, stand up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Good, so playing with the weight, like when we're in chair pose, we sit back in our heels and take the weight back. But it's nice when we're folding forward and bringing our heart forward to also bring the weight forward into our toes more. Good. From a standing position, hook your thumbs in front of you as you inhale, reach up, look up, arch back, tuck that tail. And then as you exhale, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down, drop your head. Inhale, hands to the mat, step your right foot back to a lunge. Exhale, left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga, keep those elbows squeezing. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide it forward to cobra, pull your heart forward. Exhale, push it back, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward to a lunge. Pause here, keep your left hand planted. Just take this nice open twist. Keep pulling your right hip back and in. And maybe take your right palm to the back of your head and stretch your tricep as you press your head back into your palm. And your palm into your head. Opening up here, one more breath. As you exhale, right hand comes down, engage your core, pop your left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch back. Exhale, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down. Inhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps forward, lunge, look ahead. Exhale, right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale here to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, nice and strong. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward to a lunge, plant your right hand, take this nice open twist. Maybe taking your palm to the back of your head and using your head and your palm, pressing into each other to open up your heart, open up your tricep there. One more breath. As you exhale, left hand down, right foot steps forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch back. As you exhale again, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down, release your neck. Hands come down to the mat, right foot steps back to a lunge. This time, sweep your left leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Inhale here, step your left foot forward in between your hands. Let's rise up into high lunge. Good, take your time, find your foundation. Foot is pressing into the mat. Your back heel is lifted, gaze is lifted, tuck that tail under, gently bend your right knee here. Feel your tail tuck and your ribs move in, right? Nice tall torso, taking the sway out of your back. And then either stay here if it feels good or straighten that leg back out without bending your lower back. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, bring your hands to prayer heart center. Engage your core, tip your torso forward, make your way into warrior three. Good, balancing on that left leg, maybe gently bending it as you make your way there. Good. And then press into that foot to straighten your leg, finding a nice strong pose here. Inhaling and exhaling. Next inhale, drop your left hand to the mat, open yourself up into a half moon pose here. And again, maybe gently bend that knee as you kind of set the pose up. You might find some more space in your inner thigh. Start to stretch your legs out as you reach toward the sky. Gaze moves up only if you have your balance. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, bring your right hand down, square your hips, really squeeze your outer hips into the midline. Right toes are facing down, take the twist to the other side here. Good. Twisted half moon. Squeeze those inner thighs into the midline. One more breath here. Next inhale, bring your left hand down, take a nice long spine here, gaze forward, and then exhale, swap it back into a standing split. Good, drop your head. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it, gently bend that standing leg and either stay here if it feels good or use that space to lift your toes a little bit higher as you straighten back out. One more breath here. As you exhale, float your right foot to the back of the mat, coming into a low lunge. Exhale, step your left foot back to a plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide it forward to cobra. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward to a lunge. Pause here. Plant your left hand down to the mat. Take this nice open twist. Good, then roll to the outer edge of both of your feet. This is a good stretch for the outer hips. Good, as you inhale, reach back as you drop your hips down to the mat. And then exhale, press into those feet to lift your hips, take your arm up and over in a big arch. Exhale, drop it as you gaze behind you. Inhale, lift it up and over. Last time here, drop it down. As you exhale, keep that arm moving all the way to the top of the mat, come back into a low lunge, and then step your left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch it back. Last time, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down. Inhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps forward to a lunge. As you exhale, right foot sweeps all the way up, three-legged dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands. Press your feet into the mat and lift up into your high lunge. Pause there. Good, set it up. Lift your heart like a string is pulling your heart toward the sky. Gently bend into that left knee. Good. Feel the length in the front body here. So tuck your tail under, pull your ribs in. Good, and without changing that, maybe straighten that leg back out. Good, one more breath. Next inhale, hands come to heart center as you start to tip yourself forward, make your way into warrior three. Good, keep that standing leg bent as you get there. And then when you find the pose, strengthen everything as you straighten that leg. Everything's engaged here. Good, one more breath, try to square those hips. And then as you exhale, drop your right hand to the mat. Open it up into half moon. Gently bend that knee as you open your hips. And then straighten your right knee by pressing into your right foot. Really use your foundation as your powerhouse, right? Good, opening up here. Maybe gazing up. Think about stacking your hips. One more breath. As you exhale, left hand comes down under your left shoulder. Take a moment here to square your hips as you squeeze your outer hips to the midline and then sweep your right arm out to the sky. Inhale in here. And exhale, keep squeezing in. Last breath. Exhale, right hand comes down. Take a moment here to inhale as you lengthen your spine. And then exhale, walk it back into your standing split. Gently bend that standing leg as you lift your left toes toward the sky and then straighten it all out. Reaching your left toes up a little bit higher. As you exhale, float your left foot to the back of the mat, come back to a low lunge. Exhale, right foot steps back to a plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to cobra. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward to a lunge. Keep that right hand planted. Take the twist first, set yourself up, and then roll to the outer edge of both of your feet here. Really feel those feet pressing in on those outer edges. Good. As you exhale, drop your hips, reach it back. And then exhale, press into your feet to lift your hips as you take your arm up and over. Let your gaze follow your fingers. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, reach it up as you press down. Last time here, inhale, drop. This time as you exhale, take your arm up and over. Keep it moving to the front of the mat as you come back to a low lunge. Inhale, step your right foot forward to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch it back. Exhale, arms come to your side, Tadasana. Good, take a moment here to reset. Reconnect here. Good. And then before we move on, let's just go back to our feet for a moment. I've been working on this a lot because it's been making a difference in when I'm folded. So really talking about moving our weight forward and back, different weights and how it affects your body in the different poses. So we're going to come to the top of the mat and just try this. It's good for ankle strengthening too. So bring your toes to touch. So your feet are touching at the top of the mat. Tuck your tailbone under. You can bring your hands to your hips if it helps you for stability. And just come high up on your toes here. Right, this might be enough. I have terrible balance, but I'm trying to work on it here. Tuck your tailbone down and bring your arms to goalposts if you have your balance. Good, gaze ahead. And then staying high on your toes here, start to take a twist to the right. Right, so your hips are staying square, but your rib cage and shoulders are turning, and then your gaze follow. Come back to the midline, and then take it to the other side. Woo. Keep squeezing it and try to keep your heels touching even though they're up in the air. And then come back to the center. Reach your arms up to the sky, stay high on your toes here. And then exhale, drop your heels as you fold down. I want you to place your hands down in front of you. Good, so they're right under your shoulders. Maybe walk them out a little bit so you're up on your fingertips. Good. From here, from your fingertips, I want you to come high on your toes here, folded down. Try to keep your spine nice and long. And then as you exhale, you can place your palms back down. Try to take the weight back and lift your toes up off the mat so you're bouncing on your heels as you fold your chest towards your thighs. And then rock back forward, come high on your heels as you lengthen your spine, look forward. As you exhale, drop your feet and then come up on your heels as you press your hands down for balance. Good, one more time. Inhale, pull it forward, high on your toes. Exhale, let it fall back. Feel a nice lengthening in the backs of your hamstrings, like kind of up by your seats. You guys feel that? Good. It's just fun to explore. We kind of go into autopilot a lot, or we tend to kind of default to where you kind of wear your shoes. I've noticed, like if you roll in or roll out, or kind of that kind of thing. So just trying to strengthen and balance out our feet and our foundations all the time. Beautiful. Fold yourself down, just come into a basic forward fold. And then inhale, drop your hips, bend your knees as you come up to Utkatasana chair pose. Again, this time your weight's toward your heels. So take the weight toward your heels. You can lift your toes up off the mat. Tuck your tail and then lift your heart. Hold it here, one more breath, squeeze into the midline. And then as you exhale, fold down over straight legs. Inhale here to lengthen. As you exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. Hold it here. Press into your feet, twist your hips toward the front of the room, squaring them off. One more breath. As you exhale, bring your hands to your lower back. Sorry, I have a visitor. Extend your arms down as you pull your knuckles toward the ground, lift your heart, and then exhale, take yourself down into humble warrior. Good. Crown of your head is pulling you down. I really want you to focus on your feet here. So your right foot is pressing down into the mat, especially the heel. Use that to lift your hips and pull them back. And then your back foot, you're using the outer edge of that foot to lengthen the inner, like the inseam of that leg. Good. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Next, inhale, come halfway up, release your arms. Let's take this nice sort of side warrior pose here. So walk your fingertips off to the side, off to the left side of the mat. Your legs are staying in warrior position, and then just lengthen. Pressure hips back as you pull your arms forward. Inhale here, one more breath. Good, as you exhale, walk your hands back to either side of your front foot. Step back to plank and lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Feel your foundations. Think about your feet pressing into the mat and using that to move the rest of your body. One more breath here. Tuck that tail under, pull your ribs in. And then as you exhale, arms come behind you, interlace your fingers, pull your heart up as your knuckles reach down. And then take yourself into your humble warrior, devotional warrior. So folding inside your left leg. Again, focus on your feet. Press into that left foot, especially the heel. Feel the lift from like the underside of your leg, pulling up toward the sky. And then don't forget about your back foot. Press into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, come halfway up, release those fingertips off to the right side of the mat. Let's take this nice like half down dog, half warrior. Pressing into the feet and then press your hips back. Inhaling here, everything's super active and lifting and pressing. One more breath. Exhale, walk your hands back to either side of your front foot. Step back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend those knees deeply, rise up to Utkatasana. Drop your hips, maybe even lift your toes here. And then exhale, fold down over straighten legs. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, feel the weight for just a moment. Move to your toes, whether you're stepping or jumping back. And then exhale, take it back to down, upward dog, and then downward facing dog. Inhale here, step your right foot forward, rise up to warrior one, and then open it up to warrior two. Pausing here. Take that right knee, you can even use your hand here to press it back a little, get that sensation of the inner part of your leg opening up, lengthening here. Tuck your tail, pull those ribs in. Inhale here. And then exhale, just straighten that leg as you reach your arms up toward the sky, finding space. Exhale, take it back to warrior two. Inhale, reach it up. This time, keep your front leg straight, open your arms to a T. Maybe walk your back foot in a tiny bit. Let's take it into triangle. So take it slow. Think about your hip crease moving back as your torso moves forward, and then take it into your version of your triangle pose. Keep pulling your bottom hip forward and your top hip back, stacking them, reaching up for the sky. Inhaling here. Good, even in this triangle pose, see what happens when you take your right toes off the mat, right? Just lift your toes, press into the ball, like that whole row of knuckles of your toes along where the toes meet the foot there. Good, see what that does to activate your leg, changing the balance, changing the powerhouse. One more breath here. Staying down in triangle, reach your left arm overhead, keep opening your heart toward the sky. Maybe lift your right arm to meet it, holding a big beach ball as you keep twisting your heart open. And then inhale, press into your feet to come all the way up to stand. Parallel your toes as you bring your hands to your waist. Take a moment here to press your feet down as you lift your heart, pull your shoulders down, and then exhale, fold it down. Good, you can release your hands to the mat. The crown of your head is pulling down. If it's there, you can come upside down. If you're not feeling any stretch, you can also walk your feet in closer, shorten the stance here. You want to find some nice opening in the backs of your legs. And again, try to pull the weight a little bit forward in your toes, see what that does, and then take it back, rocking back and forth. Noticing the change. Inhaling and exhaling. Next inhale, come halfway up. We're going to take Skandasana to the back of the mat. So open your left toes out a little bit on a diagonal, and then just come to straighten that right leg. You can bring your toes up off the mat here. And either just keep yourself upright. There are many options. You can open your arms here and take a twist if that's in your practice or the bind, or you can lengthen your spine forward and walk it out, kind of like what we did before, warrior legs. Just opening it up. Your hips are sinking down and back as your heart is lifting or reaching forward, right? Something opposing. One more breath here, wherever you are. Good, and then let's all bring our hands to prayer. We're gonna try this. Really press into your feet here. Try to stay low and see if you can switch to the other side without hands. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. Good, get yourself settled back in here. Do what you did on the other side if it's available to you, either opening up or reaching forward. Both of them can feel really good. Keep pressing that left heel into the mat wherever you are. Inhaling here and exhaling. Good, and start to walk your hands back toward the top of the mat, just arriving in low lunge for a moment. Step your right foot back to plank and then lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, rise up to warrior one. And then exhale, open up to warrior two. Pause here. Take your hand to the inside of your left knee. Feel that opening. And then try to maintain that by pressing your left foot into the mat. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, press down to lift up as you straighten everything, reaching for the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Follow your breath. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, take it down. Last time in here, reach it up. This time, keep your legs straight. You take your arms out to the side. Maybe shorten your stance a tiny bit. And then take yourself into triangle. Feel those hip creases moving back. Reaching forward, let the crown of your head pull you forward, and then take it down into triangle. Maybe lifting your toes up off the mat. Feel that extra activation all the way up your left leg. As you tuck your left tailbone down towards your heel, pulling that hip forward. As you pull your right hip back on top. Good, one more breath here. Next inhale, start to reach your right arm up overhead. Keeping your heart open, don't let it sink. Maybe take your left arm up too, press into the feet to keep the lift. And then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Feet come parallel toward the right side of your mat. Interlace your hands at your lower back here. Press into your feet to lift your heart. And then exhale, start to fold forward. Keeping your collarbone nice and wide here. Crown of your head is pulling you down. First, pull your hands up toward the sky. Feel your shoulders move away from your ears and then take them overhead toward the floor. Good. Beautiful. Press into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale. Good. Next inhale, come halfway up. I want you to release your hands down under your shoulders. Good. And I just want you to bend into your knees here. So it's kind of like you're riding a very wide horse, right? So press your feet into the mat. Try not to let them roll inside or outside to the insole or the inseam or the outseam of your feet here. Good. Keeping the spine nice and long here, bending down. It's kind of like a goddess pose, legs, but you're keeping your torso low. Send your hips back. Feel your inner thighs, your inner hips there opening up. Beautiful. And then either stay there with your hands down, or you can bring your hands to your waist, or you can try to reach your arms forward. So your upper arms are by your ears. You're looking down, right? No strain on the neck. Hold it here for one more breath. Good. If your arms are up, bring them back down. Just start to walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Just coming into a lunge for a breath. Left foot steps back to a plank, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Let's catch up. Some good inner hip stuff there. Beautiful. Alex, try to walk your hands a little bit more in toward the midline so they're not so splayed out at a V. They're coming a little bit more out toward from when you're in down dog. Yeah, just a little bit more. There you go. Press into the hands, press into the feet. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, rise up to Utkatasana. And then exhale, fold it back down, Uttanasana. Inhale here to lengthen again. Maybe challenge yourself. Come on your toes here just as you send your heart forward. And then as you exhale, plant your palms, bend your knees, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Keep that right knee pressing back. Flip and reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, come into extended side angle. You can modify it, you know what you're doing here. Take it where you feel good today. Keep tucking that right hip under and send that left hip on top. So send it back. My house is like Grand Central Station here, guys. Sorry, guys. Maybe you have the vine, maybe you don't. Wherever you are, just press into your feet, right? Don't forget about your foundation. Inhale here. Good. As you exhale, just bring your hands back down to the mat. Lift your left heel so that your hands are on either side of your front foot here, coming into a low lunge. And then just start to straighten your right leg as you pop your left foot in, coming into a pyramid pose here. Good. So you have a nice even stance. Your sacrum is nice and level, like you could rest a bowl of soup on it. So you're pressing into your feet here, pulling your right hip back and in as you lengthen your spine forward, gaze ahead, and then exhale, fold it down. Good, keep pulling that right hip back and in. Maybe lift your toes here again. See what that does to your posture, to the activation in your leg. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. Bend into your right knee and then send your left knee behind your right foot, coming into a seated spinal twist. Good, setting this up nice and strong here. So you're gonna ground your sit bones first. Your right foot is to the outside of your left leg. Take your right hand behind you. Feel that shoulder nice and open. Lift your left arm toward the sky as you ground onto your sit bones. And then exhale, take the twist. Hooking your arm outside your right leg. You can bring your hands in prayer. I've been liking this lately. Could you press your palms together really firmly and then pull your heart towards your thumbs. Twisted, grounded. And then lift your spine a little bit taller. One more breath here. Take an inhale. Good. As you exhale, take a counter twist to the opposite side. And then we're going to come into fire log pose. So this time our left shin is going to be on the bottom. You're going to stack your right shin right on top. Hopefully you can see me here. When you look down, you should see it like a triangle. Trying to get your heel as close to your knee as possible. If you have a ton of space here, you can put a blanket or something there, right? You want to start to feel your knees dropping down. You should feel a little opening in your hips, for better or for worse, right? So then when you take your hands behind you, this is a nice way to start the pose. Press down to lift your heart, and you're pressing down not only through your hands, but to keep pressing your knees down. And this might be enough. This feels really good, or it will afterwards. Good, so either stay here or start to fold yourself forward, walking your hands out in front of you, dropping your torso, using the weight of your torso to press your shins down a little bit more. Keep your feet flexed. Good, drop your head. And then you can really use your hands pressing into the mat. So you're pressing them down forward as your hips move back and down. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Next, inhale, walk your hands all the way back up. Just lean into your left hip, swing your right foot behind you, step back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out here for just a moment. And then step your left foot forward into a lunge, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, open it up to warrior two, shoulders down. Reverse your warrior, find this nice big side bend here. And then exhale, take it into your version of extended side angle, wherever that is. Right now, you say like maybe each breath takes you a little bit further, just see where you are and find the challenge. And then stay there. The hardest part is staying in the challenge, right? Breathing through it. Keep tucking that left tailbone down and under, stacking your right hip on top by pulling it back, opening your heart to the side of the room. Inhale here. Good, as you exhale, bring your hands down, come into a low lunge, hands on either side of your front foot. Pop your right foot in for just maybe a foot or two to come into pyramid pose. Good, exploring our feet here. So at first I want you to get a nice strong stance. Feel your feet firmly in the mat as you pull your heart forward and your left hip comes back and in. As you exhale, fold down. Good, when you get there, see what happens when you just lift your left toes up off the mat. You might feel some extra activation up your leg on the inseam, maybe the outside of your leg. Inhaling here. Exhaling. Next inhale, start to lengthen your spine forward. Bend into your left knee, take your right knee behind, coming into seated spinal twist. Good, again, finding your foundation, grounding down, even pressing your left foot into the mat nice and strong as you bring your left hand behind you. Reach your right arm up toward the sky. And then exhale, take this nice twist, right? Using yourself for your own assist. So pressing your palms together maybe, and using that to pull your heart a little bit more around. Gaze moves behind you. Think about your right eyeball looking all the way around toward the back of the room. One more breath here. As you exhale, take a counter twist to the other side. Beautiful, and then setting up for fire log pose on this side. So this time your right shin's on the bottom. Stack your left shin on top. Good, setting it up. Finding good foundation, strong foundation. Hands come behind you. Press down to lift up. At the same time that you're lifting your heart, you're pressing your knees and your palms into the mat. Finding space and length in the front body and trying to maintain that as you pull yourself forward, letting your heart lead the way. Good. Let your neck release. You can press your hands into the mat to send your hips back and down a little bit further. Keep your feet flexed to protect your knees here. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good. Next inhale, walk yourself back up to seated. Lean into your left hip, swing your right foot around, step it back to downward facing dog. Breathing in here. Breathing out. Inhaling. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. You're going to step or jump all the way through to seated. This time always flies by with you guys. I don't know where it goes. Good. We're going to open our legs up and do a straddle. Beautiful. Bring your hands behind you just like we did a few moments ago. Really open your heart. Maybe feel yourself tipping a little forward on your sit bones here. Flex your feet. Feel your legs pressing into the mat. And then start to walk yourself forward. Nice long spine. So maybe you're just on your forearms. I want you to try to keep your heart moving forward. So pull your shoulders back. But you may not go as far, but you should feel like lots of activation and lots of engagement in your body here. Let your neck go. Press your heels into the mat here for just a moment. Try to lift your knees up off the mat, like bend them a little and pretend you're bending your knees in toward the midline, right? So nothing's moving. There's just lots of activation here. Press down to pull in toward the midline, in toward your torso. Hold it there for one more breath. And then as you exhale, release that little bend in your knees as you come maybe a little bit further into your fold here. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, walk it back up.
Let's take this nice big side stretch. So left hand to the inside of your left leg. Palm is facing up. Really press down through that forearm and as you lift your right arm up toward the sky. Feeling nice and grounded in your sit bones. And then take this nice big side bend, keeping your heart toward the side of the room, right? Not facing down. Point your right toes. Feel like you're pulling your right leg away from the rest of your body as you fold to the left. Inhaling here. As you exhale, stay low, just turn your torso down and fold down right over your leg there on the left. Good. Again, play around with that right foot. See how it feels when you point it and flex it. You may not feel anything, right? Every body is different. One more breath. Inhale, bring it back up. Switch sides, right hand to the inside. Palm is facing up, really press down to lift up. And then take this nice big side bend like you're drawing a rainbow. Keeping that left sit bone connected to the mat. Should feel really good in like your shoulder, your outer shoulder here. Point your toes on the left foot, flex them, see what it does. One more breath here in the side bend. And then as you exhale, start to twist down over your right leg, squaring your torso over that leg. Forehead to your shin or your knee, or in that direction. Holding it here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. Take your hands behind your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Good. And then just start to bring your hands behind you. Just start to rock and roll your knees. Tick-tocking them to the inside. Releasing that inner thigh, finding that rotation there, the inner rotation. It's a hard one to get to. Good, then come back to center. Just bring your hands to your feet or your shins and fold it down. Really think about rounding your spine like you're diving over a beach ball. Lengthening all the space in your vertebra. One more breath here. Good, inhale, come back up to seated. Bring your legs together. Let's straighten our legs out. Let's fold forward first. Good, this should feel good. Lift up, really ground down again to lift up. And then exhale, pull yourself forward into a forward bend. Flexing your toes toward the sky, maybe pointing them, see the difference. Right? It's always good to check things out that we don't usually do. Inhaling and exhaling. Next inhale, start to lift your torso up, pull your fingertips to the ground, and then pull your navel in towards your spine as you start to round down. Keep dragging your fingertips down. Good. Pulling yourself slowly down onto your back. Keep pulling your legs forward as your torso moves down. And when you arrive on your back, set yourself up for just one inversion. We haven't done a whole lot of shoulder stuff, so you maybe just want to be ready for shoulder stand here, right? Lifting your feet up above your heart. Waterfall is always an option, just lifting your legs up. If you're working on handstand or headstand or forearm stand, go for it now. We're going to spend 10 breaths here. So if you're in shoulder stand, which is like the sort of hooky is out of the middle ground here, you're going to tuck your tail up towards your heels. Squeeze your legs into the midline. Good, keep lifting. Actually, any inversion, you want to keep that engagement. Beautiful. Heather, try to shimmy your shoulders in a little bit more. Lift those long legs up toward the sky. There you go. And then really activate your feet. Don't let them be floppy. Keep everything super active. It's hard when you're upside down. But keep that engagement. It helps with your balance as you move toward other inversions. Breathing in. 2 more breaths here. Lift a little bit higher. And then as you exhale next, start to let your feet fall behind your head if you're in shoulder stand. If you're in any other inversion, come into a child's pose. Good, feet fall behind you. If your toes touch, release your hands, interlacing them down the mat. Breathing into your lower back. Alex, even here, just try to bend your knees a little bit. See what that does to your lower back. It can feel really good. There you go. Opening up space there. Then if you're ready, bend your knees on either side of your head, coming into Karnapidasana. Breathing in. It's a good chance to listen to your own breath because you're sort of tuning everything else out for that few breaths in Karnapidasana. And as you're ready, release your hands, straighten your legs, roll yourself all the way back down onto the mat. Beautiful. Shimmying your shoulders, your elbows down toward your hips here, coming into fish pose. Opening your heart, really pressing down first and then letting your head drop back toward the mat. And then breathing in, just like we did at the beginning of the class, 3 times in through your nose and then let it all go through your mouth. Breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful. On your third one, tuck your chin in towards your chest. If there's a supine twist or any like a happy baby or anything else that you want to do to complete your practice before you settle into Shavasana, now is the time. And as you're ready, just get settled into Shavasana. Letting everything go. Trying to stay tuned inward for a few more moments. Breath slows down. Let your body rest. Slowly start to bring awareness back to your body and your breath. As you feel your inhales and exhales start to deepen, bring small movements to your body, wiggling fingers and toes, rocking your head gently side to side. Taking a deep inhale as you full body stretch, reaching your arms up overhead as you stretch your feet in the opposite direction. And as you exhale, gather your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a hug and pausing there for a moment. Keeping your eyes closed gently, rolling through either side. Return yourself to a seated position. Just as we began, but so much has changed. One more time here. So that's tall spine up and then shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back. Opening up your heart and your collarbone here and just taking notice and appreciating all this extra space we've created in our minds and our bodies and our hearts. And thanking ourselves for this time to do that, so we can carry this with us through the rest of the day. We'll close class together with Loka Samasta, taking a deep breath in all together. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your hands together at heart center. Gently bow your chin in toward your chest. Taking these final moments in your practice to thank yourself, honor yourself, and celebrate yourself, knowing that everything that you need, all of the teachings and all of the wisdom lie right within you. Bring your hands in prayer out to your third eye here, sealing in the practice, sealing in all this beautiful energy. We bow forward together. Namaste.